Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, 23rd day of June, 17th day of Sivan. Here we go. Today we're going to hit the topic, might hit you by surprise. This is a topic called not eating outside in the street. The Gemara has some very strong language about this, so stay tuned to how it applies and if it applies to you. But in general, the Gemara says that people who eat in the street are considered doing something reprehensible, such that they become disqualified to be good witnesses. And the Gemara says in a strong language that it's being like a dog, because that's what a dog would do, is just, snarf at a bone, that's just lying there in the street, nibble at it and everything. And that's not what good humans are expected to do. That's the Gemara's attitude on it. Now you and I may have snacked in the street, so here are the nitty-gritties, the specifics of it. Some rabbis say that it refers only to eating a meal. So if you're really eating a meal in the street as you walk through the street, that's perhaps when it applies, but not to small things. Some say also that it only refers to when you grab and eat quickly. Like, for example, you're at a falafel stand and they sell it to you and you just quickly make a bracha and start chomping down on it right there in front of the falafel stand in the street. That's more reprehensible. But if you didn't grab it quickly and eat like that, then it might be considered fine. The Yerushalmi says that if you're considered a Talmid Chacham, people look up to you as a person who represents the learning of Torah, then that type of person should be considered a little bit more strict, and it's not praiseworthy for a Talmid Chacham to be eating out in the street. Some say that it only applies to when you're walking around in the street eating, but if you sat down quietly on a bench, then it would be considered okay. Obviously, you may want to discuss this with your rabbi, because you're not going to know, does this apply to me or not? Are you called a Talmid Chacham or not? So just giving you the general topics, and then go check with your rabbi if you think any of this may apply to you. If you want to eat it at an outdoor cafe, so that's like eating outdoors, even though it's an eating spot, but it's still outdoors. Everyone's watching you eat, indulge in your pleasures. So Rav Belsky was of the opinion that a Talmid Chacham, again, a person who represents the learning of Torah, should not be doing that. He also shouldn't sit at the window part of a restaurant so that everyone sees Rabbi so-and-so there sitting and eating a steak. That's what Rabbi Belsky felt for people who are in the category of Talmid Chacham. Are you listening to this in the category of Talmid Chacham? You may want to talk to your rabbi about that. Talmid Chacham doesn't only mean great rabbi, it means someone who's representative of a Torah learning person. So for you to sit outdoor at the outdoor cafe and be eating, speak to your rabbi and say, does that apply to me? I would just like to know. Rav Belsky did say that if you feel like you're not in the category of Talmid Chacham, you just are a little bit less restrained, you don't walk around with a suit on and everything, you don't represent the full rabbi of the community kind of thing. He said those people can be more lenient on some of these laws. If a person wanted to eat out walking around in a bungalow colony or a camp, those are a little semi-private. They're not like eating in Times Square. So if someone wanted to just have a snack, like walk around Times Square no, not Times Square, but I mean like a camp or something, or a bungalow colony with a bag of potato chips, eating one at a time, that would be considered probably okay. It's not really like chowing down, big time in a public area. Rav Belsky also said that he would be lenient about picnic tables. In other words, if you're in a public area in a park where everyone sits down and has their meals at picnic tables, and you too want to eat there at a picnic table, he considered that fine. He said if you're in a secluded area off the highway, that would be fine too. And he said it would seem to be questionable if you're in a crowded waiting room, everybody's sitting there in a waiting room, eyeing their phone or reading a magazine, and you're taking out a sandwich and eating it there in front of all the people in that waiting room. He said that might fall under the same category, which looks a little bit like vulgar, that everyone's sitting there waiting for their appointment and you are spreading out your meal in front of all of them. That too would be kind of reprehensible, says Rav Belsky. So thanks for logging on, and check with your rabbi if you feel or he feels that any of this should be applying to you. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.